Welcome. You're listening to the Rotten River Pursuits podcast. Join our epic pro staff around the Sonic Campfire for stories and adventures from our eastern mountains to the Chesapeake Salt. Let our highs and lows inspire you to take to the outdoors.
I'm Will, and you're listening to the Rotten River Pursuits podcast. Looking forward to this excellent podcast tonight. Guys, this is very rare. We're at the table right now with 7 of the 8, with the 8th on the phone. Who's with me?
It's Uncle Buck.
Sammy P.
I'm Ryan.
Uncle Catfish.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Will, as I already said.
And I'm Sean.
And that's
Sean. Whoa, Sean.
All 8 of us are in the house tonight. You're here with us, Sean.
The Sonic Campfire is roaring.
Is there any other podcast, any other podcast with 8 regular contriputors that you guys know of?
No.
To my knowledge.
Not that I heard.
Are we a first?
I don't think there is one
We are
across
the
any
first
genre.
octuplet.
I think we're the only 8 hunters and fishermen that can get along. This amount of time.
That might be possible, yeah.
Truer words may never have been spoken, Catfish.
Well, I mean, this is a Sonic Campfire podcast, and I'm sure we have some stories. I got one whenever we get to it. It's
No, you can't do that.
Oh, you can't. You love it when I do that.
The suspense is
You're
killing
still
us.
waiting for me to tell you how to make deer bacon, aren't you?
Yeah, there was a fish story you were supposed to tell me at Christmas time or something like that I still haven't heard.
Oh, I can tell you that story, too.
I'm still waiting
right.
for Stevie to tell us about his striper trip.
Yeah. I mean,
We can go over that again.
come on now. Ryan shot a buck this year.
I was going to tell you guys about that.
Hey! Can't wait to hear it.
I want to know why Will fell off the grid this week.
Oh,
That's not the only thing
Sore
he fell
subject.
off of from what I heard.
first of all, do we have anything new just for this week? Like anything new this week?
It's Sammy's birthday.
It is Sammy.
Happy
that was
birthday,
coming.
What's up, General? Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday, Sam.
How old are you, Sammy?
34.
34 years young.
3 decades and a fortnight and a score.
Fortnight of years.
Well, how many 4 years? Does that have a term?
Just 4.
Yeah, 4.
yeah.
I think his score is 7 years.
Score is 20 years.
See?
27
Yeah,
years,
20.
maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, who cares?
One score.
1.28 score.
0.25 scores.
Or 34 years.
The thing that scares me, I'm only 6 more years away from the big 4-0.
Does that scare you right now?
What do you mean only 6 years? Like 6 years is so long
Yeah,
away.
I think I got more
It don't
like
take long.
I was going to say, up your butt, Sammy. I'm 6 years away from the big 4-0.
on the other side.
Yeah, away from it.
You're going away from it.
Yeah.
6 years north.
He's waiting.
Past the 40.
Yeah.
Me and Will are racing it down next year.
Yeah. He's
40 was the first year that bothered me. My age never bothered me until I turned 40. I didn't care about 30, 20, anything like that, but when I turned 40, like, my back started getting bad and different things, and that was when it first really hit me how old I was getting.
Yeah.
I already have that problem.
It's
I'm
just
only
another year,
34.
folks. It's another year.
That's what they say when they're after 40, so that's just what they say.
Yeah. He's waned. You've waxed until you waned.
You know, I'll be the first one to tell you, my 40s have been not the depressing time. My 30s were my bad set of time.
Yeah.
And my 40s I've embraced because I guess my 30s just went to hell. And I've just decided 40s, no, I'm making a choice. They're going to be great.
They are
I'm not
great.
I'm not going to go through this midlife crisis like most men do.
Every
Whatever.
year you're living's
Bam.
great.
Well, I'm on the other side of that big 4-0 myself, and best part about it so far, meeting my 7 new best friends.
Oh.
Shakalaka-laka.
Amen. Amen.
The 40s should be called the golden years. They're the best.
They are. They're the new 20s, I would say.
Glory days.
Happy birthday, Sammy.
Happy birthday,
Thanks,
Sammy.
Yep, happy birthday.
We also had Mother's Day.
We did. This
Your
should be
dad
good.
doesn't hunt? Happy Mother's Day.
Day to your dad. That's a great picture.
I was saying that earlier this week. Oh, your dad doesn't hunt? Did you wish him a Happy Mother's Day?
Will and I had a pretty epic Mother's Day.
We did.
Yeah, but we'll get into that later.
I heard.
Well, the reason I wanted to bring Mother's Day up was because I want to challenge Catfish to a race. I want to race the R2 go-kart with the Mother's Day present that I got for my wife.
What'd
What'd you get?
you got a Mother's Day present, or you got
I
one
gave
for
her Mother's Day present.
I was
going
to say the other way is kind of awkward.
It was 2016 Arctic Cat HDX 700.
nice.
Side by
So
side.
it's the side
Best
by
husband
side.
ever.
What?
UTV, ROV, whatever the heck you want to call it.
She was probably
A
so
whole
looking
pile
forward
of
to that.
Yeah.
She had no idea.
The funny thing is, she actually wanted one.
No way.
She could probably fit her
She's
bow
a
in
keeper.
there and her tree stands. And
It's amazing all the fun stuff she's going to get to do.
Yeah.
And watch me do it.
The kids already ran into stuff with it.
Well, everybody at the house loves it, except the dog.
Right.
Dog don't like it.
Well, the dog loved it a little too much.
No,
Dog
okay.
chased it down to the point where my son might have rolled her one time. She got a little too close to that back tire, and he rolled her. She's okay, and the good news is, lesson learned. Now she won't go near it.
Yeah.
It worked out real well.
Don't chase it.
Was she trying to bite the tires?
Yes. Yep. Luckily, this time she was at the back tire and just kind of busted her in the hip and sent her flying.
That's all she wrote.
Well, it's probably good that happened, because if she'd have sunk her teeth in that tire, she could have. German Shepherds.
Oh, she'd have had
They'll
a lot.
puncture the heck out
That
of
thing
it,
was
yeah.
less than 36 hours old at that point. She wouldn't have had no teeth left.
Tell you what,
I got hold of her. She did that.
Tell you what, challenge accepted, but it has to be on the blacktop.
I'm good with that.
All right.
But yeah, that's going to be the other R2
I'm definitely
mobile.
going to
gonna
win
be out there.
because I realized that the brakes I put on still barely work. So,
Folks,
the throttle's stuck. It's
That's-
only full tilt.
the
I go.
R2 500.
that's today we're calling David Kyle out to come and videotape for us.
Nice.
Nice.
We got to set a date to this. I'm not going to let
That
this
has
go.
to be done.
You know, but we're.
Hey, Catfish might have some help with souping that motor up, so.
Yeah, I got a guy. I know a guy that's a mechanic. We'll take that the night before. It's like Fast and Furious. The night before, we'll swap that 5 horsepower for a 30.
All we
Big
got to do is
block.
put 11 on that. You'd be surprised on how fast that's going.
It's already quick. I can't imagine what a bigger motor would do.
Well, I know a guy that's watched every Fast and Furious movie, so I'm going to hit him up and see if we can't do something with my engine.
How is Matt going to help you with that?
Fast and the Furious.
He's not, but
32.
it'll probably have Wi-Fi.
And a beautiful green screen behind it.
60 foot of cable.
You know, I got a.
But he may have been too traumatized to even help you work on such a loud engine.
It's so much trauma.
Yeah, he's got a lot of trauma in his life.
traumatized. But he's a nice guy. I got,
Was he in
gifts for the
Vietnam?
wives. I got my wife the gift of smoked meat for Mother's Day. Ooh. Yeah.
Please elaborate.
Well, she, not in a dirty context, you sickos.
It was 2 smoked meats.
It actually was 2 smoked meats. I made homemade bacon on the Traeger, of course, and I actually did a big old pork butt on the Traeger. So.
I saw pictures of that.
Yeah.
That's the one I told you bring over. I'm hungry.
Oh, that
I-
did look good.
It was.
Oh my
I'll
goodness.
have to whip up some bacon for you guys one time.
So here's something new, and stop me if we need to edit it out, but don't edit it out, because I think that people need to know ahead of time for pre-sales
For
of the future pop-up R2 cookbook that we hopefully will get together soon.
We're going to have a pop-up cookbook?
I'm adding the pop-up in because there's
Dude,
nothing
I'm
better than a
sold on
pheasant
pop-up.
flying out of a book if you're going to cook pheasants.
I like the concept.
You know, trout jumping out of the
hate it.
stream for Sean,
It's a lot of extra work.
groundhog going down in the hole type of deal, whatever the case may be, whatever we're cooking. But
Like, does each ingredient pop up, or is this like
No. When you open it up, and each
just the main ingredient?
Each page is we're cooking
Like a spatchcock pop up,
whatever the case may be.
Yeah, like if it's a pheasant,
It opens up, yeah.
Or if you're cooking deer,
Every
there's gotta
time
be a
you
deer
flip
that
the
pops
page,
up.
there'll be a pop up depending on what we're
It
cooking.
spatchcocks itself.
Yeah.
I could see the fox recipe when you open that page up. It's just catfish's feet as they fly up as he drops down into his
Love it.
You got to pull the legs, and it engages another action on the page.
We're cooking tenderloins. You open the page, and there's a doe running away, and her tail wags. Just like you see in the woods.
Or, at the very end, everybody gets their own origami goose.
Yeah, it's in the back.
It's
Folded up by Sammy P.
Fold it up yourself.
P, the origami master.
Some assembly might apply.
Sealed by the tears of PETA members.
You can't say that.
You can't say PETA.
He didn't. He said feta.
Feta?
Listen close.
No, he meant like pita pockets.
Oh, that PETA.
Yeah.
I love
I love pita pockets. Make a nice gyro.
I meant people eating tasting animals.
No.
What?
The pop-up book would be signed for some of the people who follow us and closely and contribute pictures and actually leave feedback.
Like my mom.
We'll sign it for them. And there'd be one like secret ingredient at the bottom that's like the scratch off ticket. So you got to scratch off at the end to figure out what the secret ingredient is. I got all kinds of ideas for this thing. Yeah, the binding would be like paracord. Yeah,
Man.
We're gonna need
This is
sounds
getting
like
costly quick. This is going to be the
sounds like
most
work,
expensive
yeah.
cookbook ever.
Oh no, it's like a child's book. It's
Sounds like you and Sammy have a lot of work ahead.
We do. But, honestly, with the people that are sitting at this table, and Leanna and Lacey and some of the people that we know, the wild game recipes that could be in this thing could be pretty epic. So,
Absolutely.
Well,
R2
everybody's going to be on the edge of their seats.
Yeah. I'm excited for the R2 pop-up cookbook.
Everybody comments.
Might be the only
every
thing
day.
that ever rolls my eyes in the back of my head.
Should I put this on my Christmas list?
Sir, I want to buy
Probably put it out
this
around
book.
Christmas, maybe the New Year.
Wait, Christmas or the New Year, Sammy?
Yeah, is this a Christmas release or?
On Christmas or the New Year.
That's only 6 months away, but we haven't started on this book yet.
Yeah, we haven't even talked to the publisher.
what year.
Are you going to get this thing out before the Great American Outdoor Show 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Sammy and I are going to try to work on it.
Anyway, yeah, just take your time.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Take your time.
I want to get it done. I've made a promise about it coming out, so it
Yeah.
will be out.
Actually, I was joking. I thought it was just an idea, so we're actually making this.
Pop-up section.
Sounds good to me.
Cookbook.
Ever since episode 4, Sammy's been coming out with the cookbook.
Well, I'll tell you what, there is, Ryan came over this week, did some fishing, and crappies are pretty good, aren't they?
They are delicious.
Yeah, buddy.
Actually, and I now have a recipe for pan-fried crappie, so I can
Boom.
add that to the book.
Chuck that
What'd
one
you
up
bread
to the
them in?
board.
It was a
Panko?
store-bought seasoning that I spiced it up
Italian
a little
herb?
bit,
Yeah.
but it
You
was
panko
I
that?
think it was
Do you
Washington's
spatchcock that?
Washington's
before
fish
you-
fry.
Pancode that?
George Washington?
Yes.
General Washington?
2 words: yellow cornmeal.
Nah, I had to spice it up too with some Old Bay. I gave it some good seasoning.
Did you just say cornmeal?
No, you're
Yellow
kicked out of my
Yeah,
cookbook.
get out of here. You
Yellow
go
corn-
home.
Keep it simple, guys.
Keep your out west yellow
And I
cornmeal
made-
fish stuff.
Yeah.
I also made my own
Down
fish
south.
dip
Did you?
to dip them in.
yeah.
What was this
that
all
good
about?
stuff.
Was it an aioli?
Well, if you're referring to aioli as in like a mayonnaise base type thing, I think you're right.
That is exactly.
So
Nice.
dealing with some mayonnaise, some Dijon mustards. I'm adding some Worcestershire sauce.
Mayonnaise, a lot of fish in that dip.
Yeah,
And so far, this sounds pretty good.
little lemon juice, lime juice. I had lime juice in the refrigerator.
Get out.
About that.
So
But
you
I
had to-
made the
I'm
sweet
willing to
fish
try
dip
that.
to dip it in.
The deep fried crappies in this
Pan fried.
pan fried.
But as
Deep
much
pan
oil
fried.
as I put in that pan, it was pretty much deep fried.
Pretty deep.
Did the kids like them?
Yes. Yep.
So
And they helped do it.
our first epic story of the evening goes on Ryan coming over with his kids, and Brad brought his boy over. We went crappie fishing at Lake Mead. In this cookbook, when you flip it open, in the crappie section, there will be a picture of Ryan's little girl holding up like this 4-pound crappie, because she is, without a doubt, like super impressive. I've never in my life, like I've loved to work with kids, but I've never actually seen how old is she?
9.
I've never seen a 9-year-old so self-sufficient. When you ask her for help, she's like, no, I got it. And it don't matter what it is. Bird's nest, putting minnows on the hook, taking fish off the hook, taking bass off the hook, carrying arms full of rods down, carrying the minnow bucket with water 300 yards back to the, it weighs more than she does. And she never complains. She don't want to stop. Wow. She's quiet. She needs nothing. And to me, as a 9-year-old female at the boot, extraordinarily new friend, to the point where I was tired. I know Brad was tired. His boy was getting tired. Even Hunter seemed like he was winding down at the end. It was a long day for everybody. We got back to the garage, and we did actually keep a few crappies and a few perch. It was actually, your girl wanted to keep some. She kept saying, let's keep some, so we kept a few here.
She talked us all into it.
Yeah.
Well, she was...
And we got on them. Like, from 7th, we caught a bunch of fish, but from like 7:30 to 8, me and Ryan went through whopper ploppers for bass along the dam and left them with Logan. I had some worries about that. But now knowing your 9-year-old daughter, knowing she could totally self-sufficient herself, and we're on big rocks next to the water. It's not easy walking. It's actually quite dangerous at times. And she could like teach cold cracker bushcraft school. Like, this girl's tough for 9 years old.
Yeah.
So, but we're down throwing whopper ploppers for bass, and they were catching a good amount of fish. But we kept turning around, looking back, make sure they're all right. All you saw was these, silver things coming out. They were just pulling them out from 7:30 to 8, and a couple of them that were in the bucket when we left come back. 5-gallon bucket was full.
Whoa.
And she picked that 5-gallon bucket up full of crappies and carried it up the bank before Ryan actually switched her out for the minnow bucket, which wasn't light either. Yeah. And, anyhow, we got back, and I was saying we were all, it was a long day. We were kind of wiped out. Nope, not her, man. It's time to fillet fish. Helping out, pulling them out of the bucket. Logan was filleting. She was cleaning up the scraps, cleaning up the table for me.
Sounds like she's been listening to Lady Lacey on some of our episodes where she's not going to quit.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to quit.
Super sweet girl. Like, I'm highly impressed. I might have found a new best friend. She is very cool.
For my records, this is the same one that outfished me on opening day of trout, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Same one.
Yeah, it makes sense
Here's
now.
the thing. I'm the first to admit when somebody's better than me, she outfished me that night. So, yeah, she caught more crappies than I did.
I think Logan's the only one that outdid her.
Well, that's a whole podcast in itself.
What's her name?
There ain't
Ryan?
many people that outfish Logan.
Addison.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll just give everybody a little parenting advice, a good tip. If you want to have a self-sufficient, it doesn't have to be just a daughter. It could be just a self-sufficient kid. Being able to bait a hook, take fish off, birds' nests, all that stuff. Just ignore them when you take them fishing. Make them do it on their own, because I'm over here fishing. I'm like, deal with it.
Leave me alone. Figure it out.
It was extremely cute. And she's got the real cuteness thing going, too, because Ryan would go, honey, do you need help with that? Nope, I got it. You need help getting that bass? Nope, I got it. I'm good. Like, that's what she said all night, no matter what it is. You could give her a cinder block to put on her head to carry a mow. I got it. She died before she didn't make it to mow. But, I was extremely impressed. So that's one epic story from this week. We had an epic fishing night.
Yeah, it was good.
And I enjoyed hanging out with Hunter and Liam.
Yep,
Is it Liam? Brad's son, Liam. I enjoyed hanging out with them as well, but super impressed with your daughter.
I'm glad she doesn't have her own podcast.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
We'd be out of business.
We might be losing catfish.
What's she doing next Thursday? We may need it.
Yes, catfish.
I think if I'd have gave her the kayak, she'd have been gone. Yeah. Very cool night. So anyhow, she'll be in the pop-up cookbook.
Good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Under the crappie section.
Nice. And trout.
Yeah, they had, real quick to add to it, like in the minnow bucket, there were some rosy reds or like little pink minnows, and that's the only one she wanted. I want those ones.
Well, and the thing was, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to make sure Sean heard this. This is proof how you know that we're a trout fishing family. Because when we got to the lake and we popped open the minnow bucket. She looks in and she goes, "Look at all the palominos."
Nice.
Yeah, it was cute. When you guys left, to cap this off, when you guys left, my wife came down. She was down in the garage with us there at the end when she got back in from turkey hunting that night, and she come in and she said, "That girl is really cute. I like her." And I went, "Good, that's good, because I'm quite sure later down the road she might want to go turkey hunting with you." So.
Oh, she absolutely will. It was all I had to not have her over at your house again tonight, because she's been asking to go back every day since.
She's welcome back anytime. As long as she crosses the road nice and safe, I'd have no problem telling her go. Do it. You're self-sufficient. So, can I jump right into my story from today?
Oh, my.
Oh, man.
You're holding me hostage.
No.
Let's do it.
No, I'm going to wait a little bit, Stevie.
No.
Oh, come on.
It's just because Stevie likes to wait. I'm sorry. I only stopped because I cut Sean off.
Yeah.
I'll throw a quick Mother's Day story and jump back to Mother's Day.
Started.
You know how we've been joking around about me not telling my wife about going to Florida?
Yeah.
Stevie's mom. On Mother's Day, Stevie's mom ratted me out.
Blew it.
Come on, Mom.
Yep, we
blew it.
Aunt Jeannie blew it.
We ran into Aunt Jeannie at Playsburg Pizza getting our sticky stick fix on.
Oh, nice.
Oh, man.
Sounds delicious.
They allow that on
said,
Mother's Day?
You ready? Oh, yeah. She said, "Oh, you ready to go to Florida with the guys?" And my wife's like, "Huh?"
Yeah, I told her.
Goes, I thought you were going to South Carolina. My wife said so. Hey, at least you knew we were going.
Well,
south.
we're
She's
going
okay with it.
through South Carolina.
Another 12 hours.
Sean, you should have told her if she would have listened to the podcast, she would have known months ago.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you get in trouble?
No, not at all.
Nah.
Still haven't. So.
That's good.
No, I've been fishing too much. I don't think I've been home enough to get in trouble. So
Nice.
That's always good.
Heck, Mark Spagnola's wife knows you've been going to Florida for the last 3 months.
Big fan of the show.
She's a huge fan.
Yeah.
Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Hello, Mindy.
So anyway, we catfish, and I had a nice little adventure. Sometimes we spend Mother's Day together.
Will's a good brother. He knows Mother's Day is a rough day for me. So it's good to come make me feel better on a day that's, genuinely, a rotten day for me. So to take me fishing on Mother's Day is a nice brotherly gift. And,
Yeah, I'd do it anytime. I was joking, but that's the thing. It's like
I returned a favor and bought him a kayak. So we took the kayaks out for a maiden voyage. The 2 brand new feel-free 11.5 lures.
Yeah.
Oh, man, are they sweet.
You guys look good on them.
we're actively in the process of setting them up for catfishing for the most part.
Yeah.
We would like to do a little bit of other thing, bass fishing and this and that for it, but we're trying to get a rig that is ultimately just going to be the ultimate all terrain whatever for the Susquehanna and just destroy flatheads this summer.
Yeah, I've actually put things on. We've torn things off. It's all custom. So when you do anything custom, it's trial and error.
Yeah.
And so we took them out on a maiden voyage to bass fish, and what a gorgeous morning Mother's Day was. And we actually Will left up here, and drove an hour to my house, and it was gorgeous out. And he said it was raining up here. Like, he drove through a little bit of rain, but it was gorgeous at my house. The lake was like a mirror. And it's a Sunday morning, on a 300-acre lake. And it's gorgeous out. You would think there'd be another boat out.
Should be packed, yeah.
We had the entire lake to ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to kind of jump back just a hair and say the night before I was up fairly late editing a podcast, it's part of, the love of the labor and the process.
When you called me in the morning, you sounded still whooped from the night before. You sounded tired.
I didn't know that I was going to come.
Yeah.
I didn't think, it just, but I did, I actually was just going to.
Sometimes you just need a sign, though, that things will be okay.
Yeah, you do. So I get up, and I'm just going to show up, and I have no intention of calling him in the morning and at Catfish, and I was just going to show up with a couple breakfast sandwiches, from Sheetz, and we like that bacon, egg, and cheese on a pretzel roll. Sometimes we'll do.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, but.
Communist.
Show up with a couple sandwiches and a handful of monsters. And just like I said, I don't know. I wasn't into it. You know what I mean? It was a lot to get up out of bed that morning. On the way to Catfish's house, I'm on the turnpike between Harrisburg East and Harrisburg West. There's a lake or a large pond or... I have no clue what it's a municipal.
Yeah, it's a decent body of water.
Well, it's on the north side of the turnpike as you're going out. So on your right.
It'd be on your right, going towards. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. It's an industrial. There's an industrial park behind it or whatever.
That's Army Depot.
Army Depot.
I actually thought it was called Industrial Park Lake. So.
Oh,
I'm making that up.
IPL.
Oh yeah, IPL. I heard that's a hot spot in the
So I'm looking across the lake, and it's like you're driving on the turnpike, so you don't have time. You can't pull over. There's some construction there. It's a glance. Mm-hmm. Keep that in mind. I look across, and there's 5 deer waiting on the other side of the lake.
This glistening lake.
5 deer.
Was that waiting or waiting?
Waiting.
They're in the water.
What were they waiting for?
No, they're actually in the water.
Wading.
Oh, wading.
Swimming.
I don't know. I didn't have time. Remember, I was driving past.
Did these deer have bear paws?
Did they have bibs on?
Did they?
The deer had bear claws?
No, bear paws.
Oh.
It's a long. It was a joke. We always say, I'm going to get off. I'll go down this rabbit hole. Because this whole topic is a rabbit hole. Okay, so the deer with bear paws quickly is, we always joke around like turkeys, you know what I mean? If they could smell you, never kill them. If there was deer that had bear paws, you could never hear them.
It'd walk so gingerly through the woods that they'd be like ninjas.
I'd never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
Deer with bear paws, you'd never kill one.
Never.
Thank goodness deer don't have bear paws.
Insanity. Well, but people kill bears, and I'm pretty sure they have bear paws.
But they can't see for crap.
And they can't smell for crap compared to a deer.
Compared to a deer, bud.
They smell themselves.
Exactly.
Bears stink.
Yeah.
All right, so
There's 5 deer
Waiting.
4 or 5.
5.
There's 5 deer waiting in the water at the IPA lake.
IPL.
Whatever.
I like the IPA lake.
Industrial Park Lake. So I look across. They're the deer. In front of them, to the left, a fish jumps up.
Yeah.
What kind of fish?
And you saw all this driving by at 55
At a
miles an hour?
glance.
At a glance. To the right of the deer in front of them, in the same exact moment, a bird swoops down.
Into the water.
Into the water.
I'm now
on acid driving by watching.
That's crazy.
freaking out. Like, this is the most epic thing. I said, I called Catfish instantly. Now, I wasn't driving and talking at the same time.
You pulled over.
And
called.
Naturally.
Pulled over at the lake.
The tone in his voice, the sky just parted and literally Jesus stuck his head through and said, "Good morning, Will." That's the tone in his
Time to
voice
get
when
up.
he just saw.
I saw what is in essence a nature-gasm.
Hashtag
Nature-gasm.
I don't know, like how you.
I guess I just validated that with my statement because
I mean, every statement that you make after mine validates it.
Yes.
Well, I just gotta say, you're starting to scare me.
5 deer, jumping fish to the left. Looking at it, it would be the deer's right.
swooping bird.
Baldy.
Swooping bird.
I have no clue what kind of bird
Off spray hitting the water.
hits the. Not going after the fish. It was an unrelated fish.
Bird.
Bird, fish, either one. It's just unrelated.
Is this why the other fish was in midair?
Here's the thing.
I don't know the timing. It was the most ridiculous thing I ever
It's
saw.
like you
Will-
were in the spirit world and a message came to you.
There's no I don't know what I didn't leave away like feeling empowered. I just was like, holy crap, that was amazing.
Yeah. It was just an amazing sight. And it was a
Nothing
sign.
came to me after that
No.
other than okay, there is a message.
There's a message.
I got
Thank
it.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
There's a message.
Of course, there's a message.
So
Or else we wouldn't be talking about it.
we got to fast forward if we're going to get to that message.
Here's the thing. If you wake
boy.
up in the morning as an outdoorsman and you drive by it, let's estimate 80 miles an hour and see 5 deer, a fish jumping, off spray hit the water, and the light hitting the water just right to tell you that this is the most glorious Mother's Day morning that has ever existed on Earth. And you're not awake to go catfishing or bass fishing with me, that is a sign. Like Will says all the time, like, oh, you know, if catfish calls you and tells you to go hunting, you better do it. He knows. I know those things because I have signs throughout my day that tell me, listen, if an acorn hits my truck and I have the windshield wipers on out of a tree and they go back and forth like it's a pinball machine, that I can actually watch it in slow motion like the Matrix, I'm going hunting that day.
Like a Price is Right show.
There's 5 deer in the water, and a fish jumps, and a bird hits the water, and Will calls me and I'm say, "Get down here! It's bass morning."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
with
the
you,
message.
because I'm the guy that believes in all this.
Yeah.
You got to remember that.
I'm just
there.
trying to make it as epic as it is for him.
It was
epic.
We
was
got to
great.
get to it. I'm
Steve's
let's
barely
roll
on his
here.
seat right now. He's on the last edge of his seat.
All right, yeah. So
I haven't heard him so excited since the Christmas episode.
Where does the scooter going halfway around the island come in?
Now there's a scooter?
we'll get to that.
All right, hold on. So just to recap, Will was driving down the turnpike. He saw all the signs, calls catfish. Continue.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you. Finally.
he comes over to the garage. I'm not quite ready, and we get some stuff together, and he helps.
It's my first time seeing the kayaks. I mean,
Yeah.
I got to know what did he do? He's like changing arc welder.
Yeah. Yep. So we
It's a good welding
I
job.
show them all the new anchor systems and how to use them, and we load everything in the truck. We eat some breakfast sandwiches real quick, and we're heading out because I'm actually making us a little late. You know, I want to get on the water early, and we're getting out there 7:30ish, which is fairly late for topwater bass fishing. But we get over to the boat ramp. And we get the kayaks off the truck, and they're nice and lightweight. These feel-free lures are amazing. We drag them down to the boat ramp. We jump in, and we get out. And like I said earlier, the lake is glass, and there's nobody out. Like it's that prime morning that just is like, how do you get a lake to yourself on a Sunday morning?
Yeah.
And as we paddle out, it rains on us, like a light switch, but the sun was out.
That's weird.
Yeah, but it still didn't ruin our morning. It only lasted like 2 minutes.
Like a baptism.
But
Maybe.
things like that with the sun out and a little bit of rain can turn fishing on. Good things can happen. So anyhow, we go out and we practice a little bit with the whopper plopper. Will's really first time throwing it close to the bank, because we're working this thing 6 inches off the bank, coming down the rocks to come out of the rock ledge to grab it, and I don't know, third cast along the dam, smash. Will grabs a bass. So, I mean, it couldn't have started off any better. And so we go out, and he's fishing along the dam. I take my kayak over, and we split up a little bit, and I'm out in 25 feet of water, and I'm practicing with the deeper system. I actually find crappies. I want to see what the deeper system can do in a 28 foot of water and see where the crappies are. And it was magnificent. It was an awesome system. And I'm watching on the fish finder, and he's fishing, and I'm yelling over to him, dude, you should see all these crappies. There's a cloud here. There's a rock ledge right here. Things that I didn't know about the lake. I lived there 11 years. I found this massive rock in like 18 feet of water, and all these perch were around it at the bottom. So I was fishing there for a little bit, and then as the morning went on, we worked down the dam. Then we hit our first bit of trouble.
Trouble?
What Will didn't see was the deer on the left winked at him, which really screws the whole thing up.
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
It must have been the buck
Not a
that didn't
wink.
have his horns yet.
Not a wink.
Yeah, because we get down the dam, we make the right along them little docks right there where the pontoon boats are.
That deer blew.
And I hear Will go, oh, man, the lucky whopper ploppers 15 feet in a tree and up the bank. Little does this lucky whopper plopper, it always comes back to me. Little did the tree know, we're pretty good at getting things out of trees. So
I've never gone to the length that you did to get that lure back. I probably just would have gone to Bass Pro or whatever and picked another one up.
Is this the same whopper plopper that I ended up landing in the rocks along the dam?
it is, yes.
I gave a yank.
Landon.
Because, it hits the rocks, and you just give it a good jerk, and it ends up in the water. So I did that.
Yeah.
And I saw the water go bloop. I'm like, all right. I pulled it off the rocks, landed in the water. I started to reel. Nothing.
Broke the line.
No plopper.
Broke the line off.
That line will break. That line will break your heart.
Hit the water, and it was dark.
It does.
It was just getting to be dark.
I don't know why
found it.
my true friends have real anxiety for losing my favorite whopper plopper. Like, I think every one of you get worked up a little bit knowing, oh, shit. Like, there's a moment there where, like, it's stuck.
It'll come back to you.
It will come back to me every time. I got off the kayak on Grandma's old dock, Logan's Graham's dock, while Will stayed underneath it in a tree, and I threw 6 jigs at it. I broke 6 jigs off.
You said I'll use 8 jigs to get this thing down, and it only took 6.
Yeah. I lost 6 quarter-ounce jigs throwing it up there before I knocked it out of the tree. And, I was just pitching it. Finally got it around it just right. Give it a jerk. Here it goes down in the water. So, yeah. So we got the whopper plopper back. It's good. So we go back to fishing.
Kayak over to it, grab it, you know what I mean? Feel like a hero, because I'm still in the kayak, he's not.
Yeah. Crisis diverted.
Yeah.
That left eye wink of that deer was not too bad.
Whopper plopper.
And so we're going out. We start fishing again, and Will says, "Cat, I want to see what the
Deeper system's all about.
Yeah.
I technically haven't really messed with it.
He hasn't actually seen the screen and what it looks like and all. Unfortunately, it's bolted to my kayak. So I gave Will my phone and told him, I said, well, just watch. Just watch what it looks like as I kayak around. You yell at me if there's fish under me.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
I saw I marked some big fish, and which sucks because I have a topwater whopper plopper, and there's one 18-foot, underneath catfish, 30 yards away. And
they'll come up after that whopper plopper like a great white shark.
A baby seal.
Hitting a baby seal.
Yeah, we were what, 16, 18 foot of water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I saw 2 rather large fish, maybe 13 foot, and I'm just like, I need to know, when I see those fish, how to go after them, because that's what I want.
And I was 50 yards from him, and the Wi-Fi was still working.
Whether or not it's a carp or a striped bass,
Right.
Stingray.
It was something that big, though. Yeah.
No,
Was it?
pike or or
And they
whatever.
were together, so I imagine they were stripers. It's suspended like that. Yeah.
I want to get back in the kayak, and I want to find those fish.
Yeah.
Those same 2.
That lake owes me those fish.
That lake owes us some fish.
Go on.
There's one other time I heard Catfish say that the lake owed him fish.
Yeah, we're getting to that.
Oh.
Oh man. Go on. So why would a lake owe you guys fish? Like
Will decided to take off the lucky whopper plopper to go after the stripers where I was and put on a white spinnerbait, which is an amazing bait. So as he puts on a white spinnerbait and I'm kayaking around, I would say the deer to the left of the deer that winked at him winked with both eyes.
Oh, so not
blinked.
both eyes.
He didn't wink, he blinked. There's a difference.
He blinkied him.
He blinkied him. So as I'm
Never did
fishing,
blinky.
I think he twitched his nose too.
I put on
like a Bewitched. Or
I put on a Lucky Kitech, which is like an entire pack. They're all Lucky in a Kitech pack. They work great. So I got a Kitech on in silver shad color, and I throw out, and finally found the crappies. 2 hits, first 2 casts, didn't take it, ripped the tails off. Third cast, smashed this big crappie, and I'm reeling it in, and I'm yelling back to Will, dude, I got a nice crappie on, and like, there it was. I heard it. Had my back to it, but I heard it.
Big fish?
It was slightly larger than a plop. It was a splash.
It was a whop.
It was a whopper plopper. It was like,
It was a whopper of a plopper.
It was a whopper of a plopper.
So
no.
I turned around and I didn't see Will.
He gone.
But I did see the brand new 11.5-foot feel-free lure upside down in the water.
Oh, boy.
Where'd Will go?
Rolled.
Yeah, we rolled.
You rolled her?
I rolled her. He gone.
16 feet of water.
18 foot.
18 feet of
Let's
water.
not cut her off 2 feet.
All right, so here's the deal. Let's recap real quick. The third deer from the left that also winked at Will with one eye
Gave him the finger.
gave him the finger.
Hoofed me.
He hoofed him.
Gave him the hoof.
on the terms that not only Will had his
Button
phone,
hooked me.
Will had his phone, but my phone on his lap.
It was a
It was a double phoner.
Oh, no.
There's 2 phones about 18 foot down.
So let's recap real quick, too. What else was on the kayak, laying on the kayak?
Deeper.
No, that's on my kayak. What? That
rod?
he just cut off to tie the spinnerbait on.
Lucky Whopper Plopper.
The Lucky Whopper Plopper was on top of the kayak, along with my rod.
Will's R2 hoodie.
Will's R2 hoodie.
Will's R2 hat.
Will's R2 hat. Here's the thing. We weren't planning on rolling one, so nothing was tied in. Nothing was tied into the kayak.
We're planning on rolling it.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, so we got
cold.
a little top heavy, and I literally leaned back. I was leaning there. That's why my voice faded out.
Yeah.
But I leaned back just a little bit, and I leaned over, and it just
Over the gun rail.
smoothly went over. Like, there was no stopping it. It was the slowest, most, like,
Graceful.
What was going through your
Elegant.
head as it started to go? Were you just like, oh crap, and
Yeah, it was-
I might as well just go with it, or just
no choice.
Or were you under the water and just how did that happen?
He was like,
It was a scramble.
this is awkward.
Yeah.
Before I went into the water, I was calm. And then when I went into the water, I was less calm, because then I was like doing an inventory of what I needed to grab, find,
No shit moment.
Plus tread water with
Yeah.
pants on.
tread water. Yeah.
Colder.
Wet denim is awesome.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Very
buoyant.
Yeah, very aerodynamic in the water.
Yeah.
And we're still on the heels of winter. I mean, we're it's
Cold water.
so it took my breath away a little bit. I enjoy the cold. I was, once I acclimated, I was like, I'm cool here.
Did you Will Hoff?
I did try to. I Will Hoffed it. I tried to push the kayak. It's a different level of kayak. It's a lot heavier than something that you might buy at Dick's or whatever. You can't.
They're built like tanks. Yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't do anything. There's a technique to getting it over. We used the.
You just explained it to us. You sort of leaned, and then you leaned forward a little bit.
Lean back.
You got it rolled
then
over
you
pretty
go
easy,
with
it sounded
the
like.
Didn't you do the opposite?
Do it in reverse is right. We did the. Will hangs on the side of Catfish's kayak, and Catfish pulls it over technique.
Yeah. When I heard the plop, I still was trying to get a crappie off. I knew that it was...
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I was trying to take a crappie off the hook when I heard the plop.
Thank you.
Edit.
I didn't want you to get. I didn't want you to get on some game commission list. Or
yeah. Remember that I'm still almost half a football field away, so I knew in this situation that when I turned around to keep my voice calm and relaxed, because we have not yet practiced with these heavy kayaks to flip one over either in the water or me out of the water. So as I got over to Will, the first thing I said was grab the paddle. Get the paddle first. I don't care about anything else. Get the paddle, because once we get you back in there, I don't want to drag you 600 yards back to the... And he did. He grabbed the paddle. He stayed calm. Got over there. He
kept the rod. I had a handful of crap.
Yeah.
A couple handfuls of
I
things.
was waiting for him to put both hands up and go. I didn't lose nothing. So, except for 2 phones.
That's an advanced technique.
Yeah. No, but he swam around my side of the kayak as I pulled up along his, so he's on the back side of my kayak, opposite of the kayak. And he counterbalanced me so I could lean over mine to flip his over. And it wasn't easy. They're heavy. As we got it back over, we realized the front hatch was open. So they're like a pontoon boat.
Yeah.
The reason it was so heavy, the front hatch came open and it filled up with water.
Oh, wow.
Like a pontoon boat.
Yeah.
Like a hole in a pontoon would. But once we did get it over, he swam back around and I put some weight on it.
Pulled my scupper plugs.
Yep. Pulled his scupper plugs. We drained it just like a sinking ship. But it bailed right out. He climbed up, sat back down. Here's the difference. With a feel free, the seat goes up in 5 positions. So in the bottom position, it's an extremely stable kayak. You would have a hard time doing what Will did. Putting it up 12 inches now turns it virtually into a canoe.
Yeah.
And it's extremely top heavy at that point. You must sit in the middle of the seat and stay still. Once you get the hang of it, but remember, these are brand new to us. The only reason that I have any advanced technique is because I have the other kayak that I'm used to sitting in the seat. I'm used to the seat from the 13 and a half. But yeah, once you get one going, I learned this year too with Ryan. It only takes a second to hit the water. You do something wrong, and sometimes you don't even know you do it wrong. But we got everything back. The 4th deer that winked at Will.
Is that the one who hoofed him?
No, this is the
third one. Was the one that hoofed him.
The best shall be last is how it says. The first shall be. He winked at Will as he drove by, and that deer brought all Will's good luck back to him. Because as we flipped the kayak over, his hoodie got caught on the custom rod rack I built on it. So we got his hoodie back.
Nice.
We pulled the anchor up that was deployed, which is one of the reasons it was hard to flip over too. I didn't realize the anchor was deployed. The spinner bait was wrapped around the anchor line, so we pulled the fishing rod back up off the bottom of the lake.
Wow.
And we didn't know this then, but we got Will back in the kayak. We got reacclimated, got everything settled. We did head back into the boat ramp, and as we got headed back into the boat ramp, pulled the kayaks out of the water up onto the boat ramp, picked them up, put them on the truck.
Yeah.
It was at that point Will looked at me and went, look, stuck up underneath the seat that was in the elevated position, sticking on the treble hook was around a metal bar. It wasn't stuck in the seat, just on a bar. Could have fell off. Was the lucky Whopper Popper.
A Whopper Popper.
Just hanging there.
now,
So it floated up underneath the flipped kayak and got stuck.
When I got back on, I put the seat back down, and I'm moving around, and Catfish is like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like I was going to flip it again.
He jumps on and he's getting all situated, you know, wet butt with pants and all. I'm like, dude, you're listing. Stop. Like you're doing it all over again.
I'm like, I'm fine now at this point. If I get back,
What difference
whatever.
does it make?
Yeah. But no, I had to readjust some things to get rolling again. But
Me and my brother, go ahead.
yeah, so fast forward to we're both sitting at Verizon
Yeah.
I was going to say there was a couple things in the inventory.
Will was kind enough to take me phone shopping on Mother's Day. I could have skipped ahead just to that sentence, and it would have been just as good because we spent most of the day together getting phones.
So, yeah, he says to me, he says, there was a lesson there. We didn't realize it at first, but if you see 5 deer wading in a lake,
Turn around.
and you see a fish jump and a bird fly down, head back to bed. It doesn't get any better than that.
That's the best outdoor experience you're going to have all day.
Turn around.
You just had your outdoor gasm.
Hey, we just read the sign wrong. That's all.
We thought it was going to be even more epic than that.
Yeah. The big learning experience of it, too, was we discussed this. We do, a lot of night. Fashawn's on the phone. He knows what it's like out there at 2 in the morning. Had that happened at 2 in the morning on the Susquehanna with current in the dark, it could have been
ugly.
It could have been more dangerous than it really was.
Yeah.
So
no doubt.
we learned a lot more about tethering things down, what to do, what not to do, and
Yeah, I mean,
steps to take in case it would happen.
we have bigger plans for these kayaks.
Yeah.
There's no question. And a soft rollover on Lake Mead is, if that's the only thing that happens, I'm going to be lucky.
It was such a shock though that because we just didn't expect that to happen. We weren't prepared for that. I mean, we got phones laying around and gear out, and nobody would have thought we'd have rolled a kayak out
I
there.
did feel really great though because Catfish, he walks away from Verizon with knew everything. I mean, he just for me, it's a $200 deductible.
And you have to wait.
And I got to wait a couple of days, and I'm off the grid for a while. And I don't think this has happened since forever, especially since we started the podcast and communicating like we communicate. I really I got an insight, and I got to contemplate my own mortality because I got to see what it would like,
How we would react if you were gone?
Yeah,
exactly.
Where Stevie calls Leanna almost crying.
I'm
tell you.
50% to blame for that, probably.
So we get this message from Catfish saying Will's going to be off the grid a while. And that's it.
We had an unfortunate incident. And I'm like, and I get it, and I read it like an hour after that, and I'm thinking
he's cuffed and stuffed.
Yeah, I had no idea. Will and I are
I'm good
cousins, so we have a history there, and but I didn't know what was going on, so I'm starting to get nervous, and I'm texting. Phil's texting me, and I'm trying to text Will and calling nothing. I'm thinking, the only information we're getting is Will learned a valuable life lesson today or something like that.
But he's okay.
But he's okay. And I'm thinking, okay.
That's all you needed to know till the podcast.
And I was good with that.
I wasn't.
I
was freaking out.
Like I just had trusted Will. Like if something was really bad, I would have been called by now.
If he was in jail or in a hospital, I'd have contacted one of you.
I'm sure, but I mean, I was ready to. I had my bags packed and my gear loaded for.
You learn, you do,
bear,
and that's because you care. We learn a lot. We learn a lot from each other, me and Will, and hopefully, I learned a lot from Will that day. Is the cool, calm composure, and I never got upset about the phone once. We had or nothing. You can learn something back and Well, the guy at Verizon's like, "Hey man, we're giving away tablets for Mother's Day today. It's $18 to activate. Do you want one?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want a tablet." What? He's like, "Well, it'll do this." I said, "I don't care. Can you get deeper on it?" So I got like a 12-inch.
Did you?
Yeah, I got a 12-inch tablet that goes on the kayak now as a 12-inch fish finder screen.
Nice.
Completely wrapped in saran wrap.
Yeah, vacuum sealed it.
No, it goes on Catfish's kayak, not Will's.
Oh, it'll be bolted to the kayak.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
We were there for 1 second, looking at each other, going, "Can you swim? Can you swim 18 feet down?"
Oh, I'll bet you thought.
And then
about
we
it.
looked around, going, "By the time you fell, and by the time we got you flipped up and back in here, I actually think you fell 30 yards."
Oh
over
yeah,
that
we
way.
drifted quite a bit.
It's hard to tell where you're at out there, and like.
Well, I thought about it if it would have been straight down, but yeah.
But thank goodness that Leanna texted me back. It was getting pretty late, and finally, I'm like, "What's going on? You know, why haven't I heard from Will? What's the deal here?" And she, he's good. He lost his phone, and then I was, a little bit not happy because it was just a phone incident, and I'm thinking, I gotta.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, but anyway,
explain better next time, Captain.
I'm sorry.
We were worried.
I said he was okay. I thought that was enough.
He's okay. Don't worry, he's alive. He's just in jail.
In our family, I would have found out, hey, Stevie, you got to bring the potato salad to the funeral. Would have been how I found out there was something wrong. There wouldn't have been anything.
It wouldn't have came to that unless the water popper was gone.
The best part was, I come up out of the water and Catfish is cracking up. I just remember that.
Tried not to.
And he didn't try too hard.
Yeah, that's coming from the guy that fell in the water.
No, he knows how cold it is.
Yeah.
But he didn't
That's my
flip the
brother.
kayak, though. I will say that.
But hearing you guys, kind of reacting to my absence was, I really got a chance to just, see a little bit into what it would be like a day without Will. And
I hope you feel better.
It doesn't normally take more, and I'm not exaggerating, it doesn't typically, unless you're having a particularly difficult day at work, more than half an hour, for us to get questions answered to each other. So when it takes like hours,
3 days,
or days, it's like it's not good.
Yeah. And I went as far as to name the podcast after I was gone.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Podcast is Goodbye Will. Hello Nose Whistles.
There was so many lessons learned that day because we went for lunch. I learned I like Five Guys. They have some good food.
Yeah, I went on a little bit of I know Catfish went on a buying spree, but my remorse was, overtaking my wallet and, so I bought Five Guys and.
Yeah.
You guys.
He's like, here, man, I got you a waterproof speaker. I say, I'm sorry. I got a really nice waterproof speaker. I was like, you don't got to do all this.
He left a car charger or money or credit card for a car charger. I just put it on my card and gave it back to him. How much was it? I don't remember. Yeah. Don't you worry about it.
Well, you guys both,
on me, brother.
You guys both take a lot of pictures, a lot of video. What happened to all that?
Mine.
It's the 18 foot down.
Mine are unfortunately gone. I found out afterwards that I ran out of cloud space in 2014.
But that was a long time ago.
So 2015, 16, and 17 are gone. But we got some that are on Instagram and Facebook, and Will sent me a bunch to recap a bunch of stuff. So,
just to tell you guys, they do have an app you can go on and save all your pictures, so you ain't using all your cloud space.
Nice,
so you don't lose it.
Oh wow!
Where's it go?
Where was this information last week when we rode the kayak?
Sammy retrospect.
Damn it.
I could have told you where to save your stuff.
Sammy hindsight.
Yeah, Sammy hindsight.
So real quick here, there's still a fifth deer to wink.
What? Uh-oh. Wait, hold on.
The fifth deer never won.
On here?
You dropped the tranny in the truck on the way back.
You picked up a tranny in the truck on the way back.
That's even better, Kyle. That's even better.
Sean, what's new for you, bud? Anything?
Well, go ahead.
What's that, Will?
I said, Sean, you got anything new after that?
Yeah, actually. I actually had a good trip this week. We actually got to fish with a good guy and learned a lot of stuff since we're on the fishing topic. And
I think we're on the dropping.
Yeah, I didn't drop nothing.
Good. Thank God.
But on the fishing topic, and hopefully we're going to have him on as a guest here soon. I got to fish with Gordon Vanderpool, who's another YouTuber like me. And he's a coach of the U.S. Junior World Fly Fishing Team.
Wow!
And and he taught me so much. It was amazing. And the fish he caught was crazy. We fished a section by the shop, which I catch fish at, but he caught in a half-mile stretch probably 60 to 70 trout.
What?
I didn't know there was that many fish in there.
Were they the same 3 fish he kept on catching over?
I got a friend like that too. His name's Logan.
But I actually learned. I spent some time fishing with him and learned a lot from him, and actually passed that on to my son. Then the next day, took him out and showed my son, my 14-year-old, and how to nymph fish the style that they used. And he ended up catching 31 fish, which was my previous record of trout for the day. He tied me. And the biggest one he caught was 20. The biggest one he landed was 20. He lost one about 25.
Wow.
But so I'm excited to have him on here soon. I mean, he can share a lot with us. He's a fly fishing guide, and he'll be a good guest.
How much is a day with you?
The day with me, full day is like $295.
Oh, that's cheaper.
You put me down.
I'm serious, you guys. Get up here anytime you want. The hatch is coming off right now.
What's hatching now?
Sulfurs. The sulfurs are just starting right now, and they'll be going off here for pretty much the next 3-4 weeks. They just started. It's a really good hatch. Get up here if you get the chance.
I heard the Whopper Plopper hatch is pretty crazy right now down towards Gettysburg.
Oh, there's a lot of little ones going nuts. They make little plops.
They make little plops.
They're the best ones for center pinning, right?
Yeah.
Center pinning.
Absolutely.
Well, Ryan said earlier how he threw the whopper plopper in the rocks. Well, that same lucky whopper plopper this morning, I was throwing it on a dam, and I hit the rock wrong, and it actually broke the tail, and the tail slid the whole way back. So it doesn't spin like a helicopter, but instead it stayed on, and the whole entire whopper plopper was spinning, like twisting my line up, and I still caught 13 bass this morning on a broken whopper plopper. So
this is the same one that Ryan got stuck in the rocks. Will got stuck in the tree.
I got stuck.
Almost ended up at the bottom of Lake Mead.
I've had it stuck in the rocks and on 2 docks. Logan lost it in the lake one time, and we had to fish it out with another whopper plopper. Yep.
I don't know.
I drove the whole way back from the marina one time with it sitting on the hood of the truck in the dart, and found it the next morning when I went to work.
And that's the one that, after fishing with catfish for a while, my daughter said to me just yesterday driving home, Dad, you should put all of your hooks in your hat like catfish does. Because after I broke it off the line, found it in the lake, he takes a whopper plopper, sticks it in his hat. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you should put all your hooks and all your stuff. All your lures should go in your hat.
Is this the Yeti? Yeah, that's what all those marks are from, yeah.
Plug them in there.
That's where I keep my extra lures, yeah. And we don't have to carry them.
Yeah.
Stick them on the brim of your hat.
Nice.
Anyhow, Sean, you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we were talking earlier about turning 40 soon.
Yeah.
I might have to break down and start to fly fish since I'm hitting 40.
Now, you got to get up there, I'm telling you. And actually, I want to get with you, too. I had a client this week who was an old friend of mine's wife, and I'd love to get him down on the kayak with you, with the catfish. I don't know how to describe it. You might remember him. If you remember Anglers and Archers out in Everett with the old archery shop.
Yes.
He owned the archery shop, Tom Woods. I don't know if you remember Tom.
I know Dad. Yeah. Dad knows Tom, yeah. I know who he is. Anyhow, I don't know him. I know who he is, yeah.
Yeah, we would have a blast out fishing. I want to get him out with you and have some fun with you down there on the river with him.
Starting in
Catfish in
July.
summer's filling up.
Yeah, we're starting in July. As soon as the spawn's over in June, we'll start fishing. The river should drop by then. But from what I am understood right now, because of the weather that we had, the river's almost down low enough that we can safely start to wet wade here in a week or two if we don't get, any big rains. So, and as much fun as it is to catch some of these largemouth in Lake Mead on top water, it is equally or if not more fun to me to be out wet wading the Susquehanna, and the fish might not be as big, but the numbers triple, quadruple what I catch in the lake of, which I consider to be good fishing.
Yeah.
But when the river's on
For the smallies.
it's and here's the thing, it's always been poppers and spooks and jerk baits on top water down at the river, and have done phenomenal for years. This will be my first year to try what I think is the ultimate topwater bait.
Plopping the whopper.
I can't wait. It's like the first time I tried cotton candy. I'm so excited.
Or a corn dog.
Yeah, we're kind of in the same situation
Easy with that,
here.
Phil.
I had nothing.
We've
no
had a
comeback
lot
for
of
that.
rain recently.
I don't remember the first
and,
time I had a corn dog.
What's that, Sean?
I said, we're in the same situation here. We've had a ton of rain here in the last couple of weeks that have been blowing the streams out, and our smallmouth fishing is just now, the rivers that hold the smallmouth are just now starting to come down and get their color back to where they're fishable.
Right.
The trout streams have been fishable for about a week, but the smallmouth streams are still up, like the Racetown branch and stuff that I normally fish. It's not at the best, optimum fishing conditions. So I haven't even tried yet because the trout streams are at the perfect level.
Sure. No, and I'm the same boat. I mean, I'm catching lots of bass at Lake Mead right now, which is, a 100-yard walk. I'm not going to drive 45 minutes to when the fishing's on at the lake.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't walk away from a good hatch whenever, it's one of the best hatches of the year, and to walk away from that to go take a chance at smallmouth on muddy water isn't worth it for me.
Hear that? I'll do anything my friends do.
As long as my phone doesn't get wet.
I can't even say that.
I would say get a life-proof case, but a life-proof case doesn't float, so that wouldn't help you.
I was just going to say, we were discussing over Five Guys if we had a case that was waterproof and had a small, like CO2 blow-up balloon in it when it's submerged.
Yeah, it was a.
They have like car keys, things like that will sink and will float back to the surface if submerged. I don't know why they don't make a phone case like that. I would be 6 phones ahead by now if I had that case.
Lake Mead is 6 phones ahead right now.
Lake Mead owes me a fish.
Tell you what I do. I get one of those small dry bags and then fold it up so there's a little bit of an air pocket in there. So that way, anytime I flip my kayak,
it'll float.
It'll float.
Yeah, but then you don't have any pictures from
Yeah,
the
I
event.
got to have easy access to the phone.
You can undo it and take a picture.
We carry bags at the shop that you can use your phone. You can, scroll on your phone through the plastic bag and everything, but there again, it's not floatable. But maybe if you put a piece of foam or something in the back of it, I don't know.
It's in development and it's in research and development at R2 right now.
Yeah, hit us up if you guys out are listening and you know that how to preserve phones on the water. We're very interested. Otherwise, we're going to stay here in the R2
lab,
research and development lab.
We will continue to lose phones until life
sealed.
Here's the greatest look. Here's one of the greatest looks ever on earth. Is whenever you pull down into the driveway and your best friend gets out of the truck, soaking, sobbing wet, walking into the house, and you look at your wife and she says, "What happens?" And I said, "It's number 6." And she knows exactly what I said. And I said, can you grab me your phone so he can text Leanna? And she just, the look wasn't disgust. It wasn't disappointment. It was,
here you go.
It was,
she said nothing.
It was acceptance. It was just acceptance because of my ignorance with my phones on Lake Mead. Like, she just knew it was, hey, it hasn't happened this summer. When's it going to happen? It's not
to happen.
It's like when they say in Armageddon, it's not a matter of if, it's when.
Yeah.
So I need a floatable phone. Here's what I want to do. I want a super glue or like Gorilla Glue, just one of them little rubber duckies on the back of it, just the back of my phone.
That would work.
Remember the frog wallet you bought me?
Yeah.
Same principle.
The frog wallet.
Same principle.
The infamous.
Amphibious.
The amphibious.
The amphibious.
Gals.
My luck, it would fall in the water. It would flip upright, so you see the rubber ducky. Knowing the phone's underneath the water right there, and the biggest bass in Lake Mead would come up and eat that damn rubber duck and swallow my phone.
We got to start to wrap this up, but before we do, Ryan, what did we do that was really cool?
We had a little whitetail rendezvous.
Did we not?
Today, didn't we?
What?
Yeah, Bruce Hutchins.
How much did that cost?
Where'd you guys find whitetails at this time of year?
No, we did. We talked with Bruce Hutchins.
Yep.
From Colorado Springs, Colorado. He has a podcast called Whitetail Rendezvous. And it was great. It was very laid back. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I've been listening to his podcast for a while now.
It's been on for a while, right?
He's got almost 400 episodes at this point. We were just like 402, I think, is our number. But he's got a pile of them. And I didn't know what to expect coming in because I've heard him he's talked to darn near everybody. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't sure where this was going to go. And you know what it sounded like?
A podcast?
It sounded like tonight. Yeah. Just a couple guys sitting around just BSing.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah,
he
it was
was
a good time.
Yeah, it was just like I hope we get to run into him in a show or even maybe,
I think we're going to try to have him on here. It would be a great time because I think he would really appreciate that because he does a lot of he talks to everyone and he's the host. He asks a lot of questions. You don't get a lot of people asking him from what I've heard. So we need to get him on, pick his brain about where he's been, what he's been up to.
And he's invited...
because he's got a lot of stories.
The rest of us. So Ryan and I got to be on the show, and he's actually invited the rest of us on his show. So, guys, check out Bruce and Whitetail Rendezvous. It's typically not as long. It doesn't run as long as our show.
Now, he tries to hit just under an hour, I think.
Yeah. And he gets it's very tactical at times, it's a lot of good content and a lot of good tips come from his show.
Oh, and he wastes no time. I mean, he hits it and it's off and running.
Off to the races.
And if you try to deviate a little bit, but he's just reining you back in. He's like, hey, remember, we're going to talk about this now. And he keeps you on point. So that's why he's able to pull it off in like 45, 50-minute episodes.
Nice.
It's good stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, Whitetail Rendezvous, guys. Check that out. And look forward to our episode. I don't exactly know when it will be.
He said he'd let us know. When he lets us know, we'll let you guys know.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Soon.
With bated breath.
I'm already signed up.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Attaboy.
I'm waiting for it.
Oh, good.
He's on episode 378.
Make sure you leave him a review and say, hey, Bruce, we heard about you on the Rutten River Pursuit podcast.
That'd be nice. So, anything else?
No. I think tonight was awesome. I mean, we love telling epic campfire stories. There you go.
I think for me, it was epic. I hope that you guys understand,
Here's the thing. For you, it might not have been as epic as for me to see you in the water struggling to get out, because I have to say, giggling was holding back.
I know what you mean.
It was a great Mother's Day for me. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Real quick, Will, what life lesson did you learn?
Trust your brother.
The life lesson was, if you see a nature gasm,
go home.
Just turn around.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you guys, if we have something big planned, and
you see,
and I see something like that, you guys will understand.
It's over.
Why you couldn't make it.
Like if you drive down the highway and you are looking at a rainbow and you're watching like a bald eagle swoop down, land on a turtle that's sliding down the rainbow, just go home. Like it's that kind of thing. You're done. There's nothing better today.
Like
go back to bed.
If we booked a charter, I'll give you my money. Just here's my money. Here's the tip.
Yep.
I'm going back to bed.
Yep.
There it is.
Why aren't you? Why aren't you coming on? Well, because we were coming down the road, and I literally back there just saw an otter riding a unicycle. I'm done.
That's it for me.
Yep. And he was juggling 3 mice. Yeah. It just doesn't happen.
There was an otter checking a cat for ticks.
Yep, it's done.
There was a deer with
Take
bear
my
paws.
money. No, take my money going back to bed. So anybody out there listening to Rutten River Pursuits tonight,
Take a lesson from us.
take a lesson from us. Thank you for listening to our epic campfire stories. And for everybody listening, I would like you to, at least once a week, please text Stevie that Will is okay, but he'll be off grid for a week.
I'm going to have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Poor Stevie.
Where can they find us, guys?
www.ruttenriverpursuits.com.
iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, CastBox.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and while you're downloading our latest episode, feel free to go ahead and leave us a review on iTunes. It would be greatly appreciated.
Don't forget to check us all out as individuals as well. There's 8 of us, and there's 8 different storylines to follow.
And, Will, if I could, I want to just push what Kyle just said about the reviews on iTunes.
Push it real good.
Because if there's anything, as I know how much I love us.
Push it.
And everybody listening to us knows how much they love us.
Yeah.
The reviews is what's going to help getting the word out to everybody else. So the more reviews that we get, the more you guys let everyone else know how great this is.
Encourage
the more people that are going to
push
get
the
experience.
love.
Yeah. Get the word. Because bird is the word.
Do that.
And everybody knows about the word. They said a bird, 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 bird.
So like most episodes, I have to have the last word. Happy birthday, Sammy.
Happy birthday,
Thank you,
Sammy.
HBD.
Birthday.
Say
Later, guys.
Out.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Rut and River Pursuits podcast. Follow the R2 Pro staff by searching Rut and River Pursuits on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until the next episode, we need to see you in the outdoors.